Stefan Burns here. We just had a 5.1 X-Class flare blast off from the sun just a few hours ago. Boom! Shakalaka. That is the sixth largest solar flare that we've had in this solar cycle 25. Months ago, I was talking about how this fall we would very likely see a second peak in solar activity. That confirms it. That launched a colossal coronal mass ejection towards Earth that is expected to hit us in less than 24 hours. The initial velocity estimate on this is about 1,850 kilometers per second. You do the math, Earth and the sun are 150 million kilometers apart, and well, what you get is about 22 hours for that transit time. Now, there are already two solar storms in front of this one that are about to hit us and expected about less than 12 hours. So what's going to happen, and the first one launch was the slowest, the second one was faster, this is the fastest. It's a perfect situation for a pancake where one solar storm catches up to the other, which then catches up to the other one after that. So that is the situation that we have right now, and likely we're going to get a triple sequence where we get the first one to come in, then we get a bigger shock to follow, and then this third shock should really send us into a pretty crazy geomagnetic storm. And as a result of that, we're likely to see G4 conditions. I would not be surprised if we get a G5 geomagnetic storm within the next 2 days. I think we're almost certainly guaranteed G3 conditions. That's a strong geomagnetic storm. I'm putting the probability of G4 conditions at probably like 80%. And a G5 storm, I'd say it's probably about a 50% chance that we get a G5 storm, maybe even like 55, 60%. I think the combination of these solar storms 1, 2, and 3, with this new one being very fast and very strong, this being a very special event that just occurred on the sun, I think we're looking at almost certainly G4 conditions. Probably, I think the majority percentage is G5. It's possible. It certainly can't rule it out. G5 is certainly possible. So we just had some really, really big energy releases on the sun. What's interesting about this is that it's been following nearly a perfect 25-hour frequency. Just want to show you the X-ray flux really quick. It's really pretty wild. We're going to look at where the light radiation from this hit. Here we have our X-ray flux past 3 days. This flare here was at 7:30 a.m. Universal Time. This one here was at 9:10 Universal Time. This one was at 10:04 Universal Time. And this is a 1.7 X-Class flare, 1.2, and this is a 5.1, 5.2 solar.
November the 11th, 2025. Guys, we got a pretty major update about the incoming solar flares from this morning. They've added one to the model, and when they were showing the one this morning, guys, it appeared that the X-flare from today was the one coming out in behind it. But now what we're seeing is a tremendous change in solar wind speed, which they call radial velocity, and it's measured in kilometers per second. What you're seeing since they've added this third flare into the model is this third high peak right here. Now, green line means the Earth, in both of the graphs. The red line means stereo B satellite, which is right there. The red dot. The Earth is here. The sun's here. Notice something about the back flare. It is moving so much faster that it almost catches up with the forward flares. And guys, we're talking about going from 800 kilometers per second, and that's where we were at this morning. And that is right there. See that? That line, that's where we were at. Now we're here. I don't remember a model. Now, I've been doing it a long time, so I may have forgot. But I don't remember any models initially showing that type of solar wind speed. Guys, that's really rare. And if you look at the timing on it, again, this first 800 kilometer per second impact was going to be on the 12th, which Universal Time put it this afternoon, which is still coming. But then you go on a few hours later, and we're going to have that other impact. Now, the plasma density, centimeters cubed, has also increased, but not nearly as much as the solar wind speed. Again, look at this, 1,300 kilometers per second. Just so you know, I'm going to put this into the
Massive explosions have just launched off the sun and are headed to Earth. This could pose the risk for 2 geomagnetic storms this week, one of which could be strong, and the potential for auroras across the United States. I'm going to go over all that and potential impacts with the storm in the video and some cool apps that you can download to track these things. What you're looking at is the satellite of the sun. You can see the sun's rays here, and that big flash of light, that was a coronal mass ejection, essentially an explosion of plasma that came off the sun, that big shock wave that you saw right there. And here it is again, right, boom, right there. That is headed towards Earth.
How's it going out there? Welcome back here to a Tuesday, 11/11/2025, 11:13 a.m. California time here. Latest activity on the Earthquake 3D globe shows a 3.6 hiding out here somewhere in the green flag. A lot of earthquake activity ramping up. Looks like maybe down across the South America area. We'll get to the latest quake activity here in a second. I want to show you guys what's going on here on the sun. We got a pretty big deal going on here for the aurora potential tomorrow night, tonight and tomorrow night. Earlier today, we had the 6th strongest solar flare in this solar cycle. Look at that beauty. That's the third one here, third X flare in the last 3 days, but this here, the strongest flare in quite a while, and it ties, well, it doesn't tie, but it's the 6th strongest flare of solar cycle 25 here. We go over and check out the flares here, the top solar flares of solar cycle 25. So far, last year, the one back in October 3rd, last year, the X 9.0 was the largest. Today's event, look at that, X 5.1 from 4274. I've been chatting about that sunspot for a while, how it's a monster of a sunspot, super complex, still has potential to see even stronger flares. And the only bad thing is that it's currently facing the planet. Yeah, so 11/11, that's when that X 5.1 struck. Let's talk about the effects of that now. We're still getting slammed by protons. These are charged protons from the recent strong flares just bombarding the planet, hitting the ionosphere, and creating these radio blackouts at the higher levels, the upper latitude levels there. Now, most of the time when this happens,